So that was annoyingly complicated. I don't know why it took me way longer than usual to go live on YouTube, but hopefully everything's okay. Let me know in the chat if anything's not working. So week 10 of the NFL is come and gone. And, you know, by this point, we kind of know what team is good, what team is bad, or which team, whatever, doesn't matter. And so we're going to continue breaking down the playoff picture and all that stuff. But I got to tell you something. I am concerned. Not concerned. I'm officially afraid. I'm afraid for many reasons. And I foresee dark things ahead. Okay, many dark and terrible things. There are terrible omens in the horizon. I mean terrible things. Terrible things. I could see frogs falling out of the sky. I would not be afraid. I could see rivers of blood, and I'd be like, okay, that's a little concerning, but still, I'd be fine. I could, you know, see a lotus plague. I could see, you know, the sun being blocked out of the sky. I could see the freaking Chiefs blocking a field goal to win their game, and I'd still be like, all right, it's still within the realm of logic and possibility. What shook me to my core is that this weekend, the refs helped the Lions win a game. It's insanity. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
Eric, I don't believe it. I saw it. I saw it with my own eyes. I still don't believe it. Madness. I did not think there was enough gold in the world for the Lions to be able to pay off the refs. I don't understand. I'm scared. I'm scared, buddy. I don't know what's going on. The world is upside down. Did you see it?
I guess the refs have had enough of the fucking Strouds at this point as well.
You know, fuck those guys in their stupid red uniform. Chuck Dominguez, the boys are back. Happy Veterans Day, and thanks for your service to those who served. Happy Veterans Day, everybody. Yes, we thank you for your service. It's very important. It's maybe the most important job in America. You could argue that maybe there is no America without our veterans. And actually, I had a pretty cool event today at work. So it's a Veterans Day thing. So it's a room full of old veterans, and I'm talking 2 WW2 bets. Dude that was actually on D-Day, and it's nuts.
How many are left?
I have no idea.
The last one died like a while ago.
No. There's still a couple kicking, and so their stories are actually pretty interesting. You got there's a bunch of Vietnam vets that were, you know, sharing their stories, all this crazy shenanigans and stuff. The dude from WW2 who went there was in the hospital like 5 minutes before getting there, but he was like, I'm not missing this event. Like, they were actually feeding him with a tube on Friday, and he was like, no, I'm not missing our Veterans Day event. So like, they don't make him like that. All right, they don't make him like that anymore. That's a tough mother. So
Well,
again,
like, I survived the actual Nazis.
yeah. So again, thank you for your service, and thank you, Chuck Dominguez, for mentioning it. David Martinez, yeah, go Bolts. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm wearing the jersey because the Chargers did win, but I believe that's enough getting out of the way. We gotta. I started off a little late, so let's get into actual football talk. There was a slate of very interesting games this weekend, and I almost opened this up, and I just figured out that this thing's fucked up. Okay, fixed it. So let's get into a little bit of football talk. First off, we got Thursday night football. Honestly, it was a very exciting game. The Ravens hosting the Cincinnati Bengals and barely squeaking by with a victory, 35-34. This was a really fun game. There was no defense whatsoever in the entire building. Did you see any defense anywhere? I didn't see any defense. So I might have missed it.
This was one of those boxing matches where you're like, fuck guards, I'm just punching.
Yeah, we're going down swinging.
Falls first.
Yeah, by the way, I got something really cool. Check this out, just going back to me. I got a mallet. So it's like a judge mallet. Like, I might be using this sporadically, so if you hear this, it's because I got the mallet, okay? Now, if you're wondering why I got the mallet, it's not for the podcast. It's actually
that is my question.
Yeah, it's for a board game, because I saw a setup that some other a-hole had, you know, with 3D printed crap, and I got jealous. But I saw one thing that they had that was really cool. So in the board game, they have a thing called the speaker, and so for their speaker, it's just like a little chip that identifies you. But they had a mallet, because you know they end up basically there's a political round, and the dude who has the final say or starts it or everything, it's the speaker. And so I saw the mallet, I was like, that's brilliant. I'm gonna steal their idea. So that's why I got a mallet. Also, they're very cheap. Anyway, let's continue. Let's get back to football. In case if all of a sudden you start hearing a whack, it's because of this. Order! Anyway.
I can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
No. Hit it.
You're fucking with me, aren't you?
Super quiet.
Well, it's because it's far from the mic. I didn't want it to be close to the mic. Yeah, that was
you
gonna.
gotta have the wood thing and it just clack.
I do have the wood thing. Like, yeah, it's this. But it doesn't sound the same when it's not on the. Hey, whatever. Get back to football, man. God, we're talking about important stuff here.
The mallet.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway,
bringing the mallet was gonna bring some mallet-related questions.
Yeah. So again, since there was no defense whatsoever being played, the offense was kind of crazy. And particularly crazy is a man named Jamar Chase, who in 11 receptions had 264 yards and 3 touchdowns. You would think that would be enough to win a football game. It wasn't, as they didn't have any defense. The quarterbacks, crazy. Joe Burrow, 33 out of 56, 428 yards, 4 TDs, and 3 sacks. On the other side, Lamar Jackson, 25 out of 33, 290 yards, 4 TDs, 7 runs for 33 yards, 0 sacks. So that's probably the biggest difference in the game. It's sad. The Bengals started off in control of this one, and then they just fucked it up. It's one of those things that, they managed to get the Ravens to the ground, and they were on top of them, and they were on top of them, and they were on top. And then on the final round, they just threw them off, and you couldn't hang on any longer, and eventually they just started raining freaking touchdowns on you. So see, Chuck Dominguez says it's loud and clear on their side, so they can hear the mallet.
It's because they're hearing you on Discord. I don't know, but
it's the same audio. It's this mic. It's the same mic. What are you talking about?
But I'm not listening to the stream. I'm listening to the Discord. Maybe. Oh, it's because Discord has the freaking audio suppression thing.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
Huh? I didn't know that. Anyway, so I'm sorry if I blew other people's ears out just because Eric was like, I can't hear it. Keep doing it.
Sounds like a little bit louder.
Anyway,
no, it's very appropriate that it's a Veterans Day because I would like to thank Jamar Chase for his service in my victory this week on fantasy football because 55 points.
Hot damn.
He broke a 7-week losing streak.
That boy good. Now, dude, I was scared because I have Lamar Jackson in my fantasy football. It was the start of the third quarter. He had like 5 points. I was like, oh no. By the end of it, he had 30 something. So I was like, all right, okay, cool. Anyway, it would not be.
The Bengals are a good team. It's just they're losing really close.
Yeah, they just
slugfests.
Dude, it's bad coaching. That's the issue. First off, they have no defense. Second, I think the franchise, the ownership is cheap. Why the hell does this thing keep? I'm not that fat. Come on. Hopefully, the ownership is cheap. They didn't want to pay Jamar Chase. They don't want to pay T. Higgins. They don't want to buy. They don't want to buy an indoor training facility. They don't want to buy a parking lot next to their training facility. These freaking players have to cross the street in full uniform. It's ridiculous. So it's you're starting to see the consequences.
The players are starting to ask for water during their training.
They don't want to fire their head coach. And again, listen, Zach Taylor got him to a Super Bowl. I get it's difficult to get rid of the guy, but come on, you can't start in a 4-game hole every freaking year and still keep your job. I mean, come on, you have one. I also don't want to invest in an offensive line. You have one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league. If you fire your head coach, he's probably not going to get hired as a head coach somewhere else. And there's a Mike Bravel out there. There's a Bill Belichick out there. And there's a Pete Carroll out there who I'm sure would love to take Joe Burrow. Hell, even Ben Johnson from the Lions would love to have Joe Burrow. this is your moment.
I'd love to see Vrabel with Burrow.
Yeah,
That'd
so
be great.
this is a moment in your franchise to turn it around. And who knows what it'll do? I don't know who knows what they'll do. But here's the issue. I think Zach Taylor's still on the contract for next year. I don't think they're going to break it. So that might be job security, but who knows? Again, it would not be a Super Dario World podcast if I did not complain about the refs and them fucking ruining yet another game. What do you see in this particular play here? This play that's very important, critical for the final result of this game. What do you see here?
A yellow circle.
All right. What's inside the circle?
There is. I can't really tell because somebody's blocking the face with their hand.
It's a very clear face mask on the quarterback, right? Now, if you look closer, you might see a face mask on the tackle here and maybe another face mask over here. So this is like a triple whammy of face masks, and not a single flag was thrown. And again, I hate this stupid
the refs just
rule.
couldn't keep count.
Yeah, I hate the stupid rule. The stupid rule is super clear. If a quarterback gets hit in the neck and head area, flag. I don't understand why some quarterbacks get it and some don't. I'd prefer that nobody gets it, but I understand player safety and all that stuff. So either you throw it for everybody or just don't throw it for anybody. It's ridiculous. Joe Burrow took some hits in this game that were just freaking ridiculous. The man threw the ball, started smoking a cigarette in the middle of the field for like 5 minutes. Then the safety of the Ravens came there and boom, just hit him on the blind side. No fucking flag. It's redonkulous. I don't understand what the fuck the NFL is doing. Where the fuck... I'm honestly sick and tired of complaining about the refs. They just keep ruining fucking games. And the issue is the lack of consistency. Just be consistently bad or be consistently good, but be fucking consistent and stop basically making everything come down to what you do or don't do, deciding the outcome of the game. It ruins the product. I fucking hate it.
Yeah, honestly, it's starting to get really bad. Would you say it's more atrocious than last season, though? It feels like it's been par for the course for at least the last 3.
Yeah, I think so.
Where every week there's something going on with the fucking refs.
I'm sick and tired of complaining about the refs. So I think it's probably about the same. I'm just less tolerant of it now. It's ridiculous. Again, because they're ruining good games. Anyway, let's continue. The Panthers beat the Giants in an overtime win in a game who probably nobody outside of freaking Germany saw because it was early and the Giants against the Panthers, but it was funny.
They played in Germany?
Yeah. The game went to overtime.
This is the game we sent to Germany in order to sell the NFL?
Well, we still haven't forgiven them for a couple of world wars, so that's their punishment.
Right, fair enough.
Yeah. So the game goes to overtime. So the Panthers are on top most of the game. Giants tie it up in their final drive, right? They get the ball to start overtime. First play, running back fumbles the ball. So Panthers recover and basically kick a field goal and win. So that was really funny. That was really funny. Star of the game, Chuba Hubbard, 28 runs for 153 yards, 53 yards and 1 TD. So if you have him in fantasy football, he's giving you points. And if you care anything about Daniel Jones, 190 yards, 2 INTs, and he rushed for 1. So whatever. Who cares? Honestly, who gives a fuck about these two teams?
How long is he gonna stay in the league?
Daniel Jones? Who knows, man? I don't know. I mean,
I think they'll just eat his contract.
I think the Giants.
I don't mean figuratively. They'll take his contract and be like, "Fuck you."
Dude, it's hard to tell, honestly, because A, the game was in Germany, and B, there were fans from both sides, and again, a lot of neutral fans. But when the Giants fumbled, I'm pretty sure that the Giants fans were cheering. They were like, "Yes, we're getting a better draft pick because the Panthers are a bunch of idiots." So it's hard to say. But yeah, the game, let me see. Use the mallet when you find the refs guilty. That's going to be my new thing. Thank
like
Chuck.
that.
You the man. You the real MVP. And You didn't know that? Yeah, they played in Germany. And you didn't know because nobody cares about these two teams, and nobody should. Next, we have the Bears losing to the Patriots at home. And not just losing against the Patriots, not even scoring a touchdown. Caleb Williams, by far the worst of the rookie QBs. And it's not even close. Drake May is not in
Bryce Young?
What? Wait. Bryce Young's not a rookie QB. It's his second year. But Drake May is in the Patriots. A terrible organization. He's starting to look better each and every week. They're starting to do stuff. It's part of him not having any weapons and the team basically quitting on the season. Jaden Daniels, contender for MVP. I mean, he's not going to win it this year, but at least rookie of the year. Who else do you have this year starting? Bo Nix going toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes. And then you have the #1 overall draft pick, Caleb Williams, sucking donkey dick. Here's the fun stat. He made 16 out of 30 throws for 120 yards. However, the team only had 69 total pass yards. So I know what you're thinking. How the fuck does that make any sense? How can he throw for 120 yards, but the team only had 69 total pass yards? Well, it's because he got sacked 9 fucking times, and every single time they take away from your yards. They're not protecting the guy. There's a clip out there of, Caleb Williams got sacked, and the person who picks him up is a Patriots player. And once he actually picks him up, he pats him on the head like a child. And the defensive line and the offensive line doesn't do anything. It's sad. It's really sad. It's funny because you hear the Bears fans be like, "No, we're gonna be the best team. We're gonna go Super Bowl." Blah blah. Nah, you're still the Bears, and you haven't fired your head coach. And what I've heard is that they're saying that Eberflus's job is safe all the way up to next year. You guys, you get what you fucking deserve. All right. Jesus Christ, what a terrible fucking organization. I've never seen a team quit like this. It's ridiculous. It's just, it's funny. It's funny. I feel bad for this young man, but a young man that I don't feel as bad for. I mean, it sucks that he plays for the Patriots, but he's looking okay. Drake May, 15 out of 25, 184 yards, 1 TD, 1 INT. It's what you expect from a rookie in a bad organization. He got the W.
I don't think he's going to be the next Brady, but, eventually he'll...
He's usable. He's gonna be maybe on the level of a Ryan Tannehill. He could take you places with a solid enough team around him.
And an amazing deep ball.
Exactly. Next, a concerning matchup. So the Buffalo Bills.
The Colts are dead.
Yeah, Buffalo Bills beat the Colts 30-20. This game was bizarre. Let me give you this QB comparison. Josh Allen, 22 out of 37, 280 yards, 2 INTs, 8 rushes, 50 yards, 1 TD. He got sacked twice. On the other side of the field, Joe Flacco, 26 out of 35, 272 yards, 2 TDs, 3 INTs, 4 sacks, 1 fumble, and one of the INTs was a pick six. This game was scary close, and in spite of the Colts playing scary bad. It was I don't even know what to say. I don't know if the Colts are a bad team because they did play terribly, but they also did some pretty good stuff. And eventually the Buffalo Bills got their rhythm and they took control of the game, but they started off really badly. Kind of similar against the Dolphins last week where it would look close for a little bit until it wasn't. So again, a pick six is the reason. It was the deciding factor in this game. Is the reason why the Bills were able to stay on top. But they don't look as unbeatable as they did a couple of weeks ago. And the Colts they have a really good running back, and that's it. I don't know what else they have.
I'm gonna go ahead and declare him fucking dead.
Dead? Yeah, fair enough. Dead. I mean, if you got him on fantasy football, at least Taylor's still giving you points. 21 runs for 117 yards. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Yeah. Next, the fucking Kansas City Chiefs beating the Denver Broncos 14-16.
Explain yourself, Chuck.
Get it. I don't
Explain
understand.
yourself, Chuck.
Is God on their side? Probably. But let me give you a few stats. Patrick Mahomes, 28 out of 42, 66 yards, 1 TD, 3 runs for 19 yards. Got sacked 4 times. One of them looked pretty nasty, like he was limping. So he wasn't 100% recovered from the bad step that he took against the Buccaneers. On the other side of the field, Bo Nix starting to look like a okay starter. 22 out of 30, 215 yards, 2 TDs. I mean, if this is your rookie going up against the defending champs, I'd start to feel better about this whole Sean Payton experiment. Like I told you weeks ago, you know when everyone was freaking out about the Broncos? Told you to slow down. The process looks like it's working. I mean, the kid, he's not Peyton Manning, but he has potential. And again, he's under a really good head coach.
Jay Cutler.
Exactly. He's under a really, really good head coach. And so how did this game end? Because the Broncos were in control of this game the entire time. I mean, 99% of the freaking game was the Broncos under control until a blocked fucking field goal saved the Chiefs. So the Chiefs take control of the game. There's still like 5 minutes. They take the lead. There's still like 5 minutes left on the clock. And then there's this beauty of a drive where the Broncos just keep making first down after first down, like milking the clock, moving it into easy field goal range, and the fucking Chiefs find a way to fucking block it. It's divine fucking intervention at this point. You're just like, man, I've said this 100 times. It's not just that the Chiefs are good, is that they're fucking lucky. They're the luckiest fucking team in the league, and I've said it my entire life. It's better to be lucky than smart. Because this is a beatable team. Case in point, a Broncos team that's at least a year away from being a legit contender almost dominated their asses at home. It's unfucking believable. Of course, there was a moment where the Chiefs were helped out by the refs. I mean, bailed out massively. And it happened earlier in the game, so it doesn't feel as consequential, but when you see the final fucking result, it's ridiculous. Again, I'll just tell you really quickly what happened in case you missed it. So the Chiefs Mahomes just got sacked, so it was a long third down. They were about midfield, and I believe Mahomes got sacked again, which would have, ended that drive out of field goal range, out of everything, and the refs call illegal contact. And then they don't, on the TV, they don't show the illegal contact. They just, okay, illegal contact, move on. It was very bizarre. Because again, usually they show you the replay, but no replay, just illegal contact, automatic first down, and that's the first drive where they score. And you're just like, motherfuckers, they had him. And it turned it the fuck around. But what can you do? Let's see what Chuck has to say.
Explain yourself.
Yeah, he didn't have a bad ankle. Saw moments when Mahomes was jumping and celebrating, but when he got sacked, he was limping. I mean, you're just saying you saw him limping, but he didn't have a bad ankle. David Martinez watched the replay. They just let 4 players through like nothing. Fixed. No, I saw you mean of the punt? I saw the replay, and they actually knocked down one of the defenders. Like the dude ends up on his ass. Now you could argue, dude wasn't defending, and that's fixed, but I don't know. Like even if I don't know. At this point, that wasn't the most egregious thing I saw, and I do believe that the Chiefs are just that fucking lucky because they have been that fucking lucky. But whatever. I don't know if it's true, but supposedly Mahomes told the refs to tell him when the defense was coming. I saw that. It's a hot mic moment where Mahomes does say something like, let me know when they're close or something. Supposedly, the explanation that I saw is that he's telling them to let him know when his O-line is too close to the line of scrimmage so that they don't get a penalty. So I don't think that's the most egregious thing in the world. And I don't think a ref could be like, Mahomes about to get sacked and the ref screams like, watch out, duck. I think that'd be pretty easy to spot. So it's, listen, I get it.
Wouldn't you say that at the beginning of like every play? It's like, dude, they're rushing you.
They're gonna get you. In fact, it would be kind of distracting, right? It'd be like, look out, what? So I don't know. It's just inevitable, and I don't like it. I don't like it because I see them play every week. They don't look like a championship team this year. It's infuriating, but whatever. Let me see.
Say it sounds kind of obvious, but it's gonna come down to the rest of the AFC, how this whole thing plays out in the playoffs.
And if they can get their head out of their asses, this week is critical. And I'll tell you why in a minute. But okay, Chuck Dominguez says what he meant. Right? What he means is that he was okay, but all of a sudden he wasn't okay. When he had a bad play, he pretended to be hurt. So it's soccer out there, maybe. I don't know. But let's move on. And again, we will go back to
injuries. Get aggravated.
Yeah, and again, he did get hit a lot. So next, we got the Falcons losing to the Saints, and the Saints, who just fired their head coach and dropped like 2 tons of crap off their shoulders. They were playing loose. They were letting the balls fly. Derek Carr, 16 out of 25, 269 yards, 2 TDs, and Marquise Valdez-Scantling, whatever you say the stupid name, 3 receptions for 109 yards, 2 TDs. The boy was flying out there. On the other side of the field, Kirk Cousins, 23 out of 38, 306 yards, and 1 INT. They did nothing. Nobody not named B. John Robinson did shit in that game for the freaking Falcons. 20 runs, 116 yards, 2 TDs, 3 receptions, 28 yards. That boy good. That boy's carrying my fantasy football team this year. Anyway, yeah. You remember what I said earlier on this season? The Falcons have to win the Super Bowl this year. Otherwise, they're a bunch of fucking morons for drafting a QB on the first round and benching him. Not getting a pass rusher, not getting a freaking an O-lineman, not getting something that would help them win this year. Again, Kirk Cousins sacked 3 times. You know what would have helped? An O-lineman. And it was a high draft pick. So, you get what you fucking deserve, you morons. Anyway, anything you want to say about the Falcons?
I don't think particularly highly of them, personally.
They're supposed to win the Super Bowl. They're supposed to win the Super Bowl this year. They have to. Otherwise, again, they're just a bunch of retards. But let me see.
Them along with the Cowboys, they gotta win it.
Ooh.
But I heard that the morale with the Saints is actually pretty high ever since they
got rid of friggin' Dennis Allen, who was a 2-ton anchor on that team's neck. Jesus Christ, I have no idea how that man kept his job. But Sandman 8296, Chiefs could easily be a below 500 team. Yes, but they're lucky, and luck is a superpower, and it's very important. It's not something you should underestimate. It's a very important thing. Some people are lucky, some people are not. So, good for them, I guess, but I just fucking hate them. Next, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers just barely losing in a heartbreaker against the frickin' 49ers, where we saw the return of Christian McCaffrey, winning 23-20. This one, McCaffrey did not look great. 13 runs for 39 yards, 6 receptions for 68 yards, but the run, he did have a few explosive runs, and the big thing is that he attracts a lot of attention. So that opened up other players, which is a good thing. However, there's a lot of drama right now in freaking San Francisco. I don't know if you saw this, but they missed 3 field goals in this game. And Devo Samuel at one point just went and just pushed their long snapper. He told him something kind of like get it together or something like, or I don't know what he said, but he just goes up and it just pushes him in the face. It was pretty funny. So listen, I get it. This game should not have been as close as it was, but you know, the reason why it was is because of.
They're saying the fault was the long snapper.
I don't remember exactly. I mean, I did not play. I was watching 3-4 games at once. I just saw this and I thought it was very funny, and I just kept seeing them miss field goals. So the reason why this game was so close is because of one, Baker Mayfield, and also because the kicker keeps missing kicks. But Baker Mayfield, 18 out of 29, 116 yards, 1 TD, 3 runs for 3 yards. Not impressive at all. Sacked twice. But let me tell you something. The final drive of this game, Baker Mayfield, where they scored a field goal to tie it up, is probably the best drive of Baker Mayfield's career. It's probably the best drive of most quarterbacks' career. It's insane. There's a play where you see Nick Bosa right here on the screen. Nick Bosa had him by the arm and the chest. Baker is stiff arming him and still running. He runs like 3-4 yards with Nick Bosa grabbing him. He manages to throw the ball to a catch that's a first down. He has also a couple more plays where he's just dodging fools. There's one where the dude has him dead to rights, like hand over the neck. He manages to shake that fucker off, turn around, throw the ball, completion. It's insane. That one was pure heart and cojones. I feel so bad for freaking Baker. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers should be winning more games, but they lost their 2 best wide receivers, and this man's just putting the team on his shoulders, doing everything he can do because the defense fucking sucks, and it's still not enough. It's brutal. I feel so bad for Baker, man. So freaking bad. Let me see.
Yeah, I've always liked them. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with Moody. I just heard all the freaking missed field goals, and I was like, that
is
does
a
not
rookie
sound
kicker.
like that boy.
Rookie kicker. He sucks. It happens. Sometimes some people have it, some people don't. Right now, he's not in the right headspace. Let me see. Sandman, Baker did admirably for not having Godwin or Evans. Yeah, I said it last week. If either Godwin or Evans would have been in the game against the Chiefs, they would have blown him out. But, again, luck. David Martinez. Baker is a fucking beast this season. My favorite QB this year. So fun to watch. Yeah, honestly, dude is electric. That's like the one person who I think deserves that freaking adjective, electric. Sandman, it's great seeing Baker have a good career when he started off awful by the team that drafted him out of college. Yes, and that's why the Browns are suffering, because they did not do right. The Browns did everything in their power to ruin Baker Mayfield's career. So it's nice to see him in Florida having fun, doing well. It's just, it's unlucky that he lost his top two weapons, because that team looked to be rolling. I mean, they beat the one loss that the Lions have this season was against the freaking Buccaneers. Next.
Also, the Browns doing everything wrong? I don't believe you.
Name a more iconic duo. Steelers barely squeaking out a victory against the Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels, 17 out of 34, 202 yards and 3 runs for 5 yards. So he finally looked mortal, besides his first game. Sacked 3 times and 1 forced fumble by the Steelers. On the other hand, freaking Pickens, that boy good. 5 receptions, 91 yards and 1 TD. And this game, the Commanders were actually on top. And this game should not have been as close as it was. The reason why it was so close is because, surprisingly, Mike Tomlin did something very stupid. They had their ball in their own 20-yard line. They were going to punt it, but it was a fake punt and it failed. And that allowed the Commanders for their first score, and it kind of got them going a little bit. So I was like, the fuck are you doing? It's like the first quarter. What the fuck is this? Listen, you caught everybody by surprise.
You wouldn't expect it.
I did not see it coming because I thought this man was not an idiot, and he's usually not. So it was weird. I mean, or you're just feeling extremely cocky that you could do that, and even if it failed, you could get away with it, which they did, to be fair. And you know how the freaking the Steelers won this game? It was a freaking deep ball pass from Russell Wilson, like a 39-yarder to their brand new wide receiver, Mike Williams. So Mike Williams leaves the Jets the same week, the first week in freaking Steelers, in Steeler Nation. He's the hero. So good on Mike Williams. Good on the guy. I hope you stay healthy. I hope you continue to do, you know, Mike Williams things. That was just.
Have you been following the storyline for NFL scripted?
Of course I have. Yeah. the Don Aaron Rodgers thing.
Don Aaron Rodgers like, screw you. Mike Williams is gonna leave and he's gonna get the game-winning touchdown.
Oh, so he finally learns how to run the right route.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next, we have another game who shouldn't have been this close. The Vikings beating the Jacksonville Jaguars 12-7. And here we saw the return of one Mac Jones, who had 12 out of 22, 111 yards and 2 INTs. He rushed for 8 yards, 1 touchdown, and got sacked 3 times. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why the hell was it, 12-7? It's because Sam Darnold had 3 INTs. Like, this is the worst game of the season for Sam Darnold. Again, 1 sack, 3 INTs, 22 out of 38, 241 yards. If he was even in the conversation for MVP, he's now safely out of it. It was atrocious. Now they won because, again, the Bengals are stupid and their white helmet looks ridiculously dumb. Like this, I hate this uniform. Like, look at it. Look at it. It's horrible.
I think I remember that one.
It's just horrible. I don't know who got paid to design this, but he shouldn't have. He stole their money. Anyway,
it's not the worst throwback I've seen.
It's just really bad. Anyway, next, the most beautiful game of the weekend. The Chargers beating the stupid Tennessee Titans. Those bastards from a basket. Almost, it wasn't as close of a game as the score reflects, because the final touchdown wasn't freaking it was scary there for a minute. It was scary there for a minute, but it was garbage time points. But who looked phenomenal? Who looked great? Our boy, Herbie. 14 out of 18, 164 yards, 1 TD, 9 runs for 32 yards, and another TD. And I'm starting to feel good about the Chargers now. I mean, I was feeling good the entire time. As soon as they named Jim Harbaugh the head coach, I was happy. But here's the key moments, the changes that I'm starting to see on this franchise, the attitude changes. Because at first it was like, dude, Greg Roman, way too conservative and all these things. Well, what did we see here today? They went for it on 4th down. Why did they go for it on 4th down? Because before, they moved the ball, they were in the red zone, they were unable to score, they went for a field goal. I was like, okay, get points on the board. That's fine. And then closer to, on the next drive that they got close to the red zone, you could tell that they were like, no, we need we need a freaking touchdown. The same thing that happened against Arizona is not happening again. We will not be denied. And so, Justin Herbert kept the freaking ball, rushed in for a touchdown. There was apparently nobody blocking for him. He managed to will his way into the end zone. And from that point on, I think they had 3 drives where they scored in a row. So you could tell, like the metaphor that Jim Harbaugh has about the olives in the jar. Pop, 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 baby. Pop, pop, pop. The other moment that I thought was...
It was important. Our freaking red zone has been atrocious.
Yeah. The other moment that I thought was very, very important in this game, the Chargers did a flea flicker. Now, for those of you who don't know what that is the quarterback hands the ball off to a running back or anybody else, and the running back turns around, gives the ball back to the QB, and the QB throws it. That's, I think, the first kind of trick play that I've seen him do the entire season. So they're starting to... Why don't you do trick plays? Because you don't trust that your players can handle it yet. They're not ready for it. They're too new. They're too green. They don't have enough chemistry. It's a risk. they're starting to do stuff like that, which means that, okay, they're starting to feel more comfortable with the level of talent on this team. They're also like, hey, you know what? It's time to throw the other team a curveball. So, as you know, fastball is easier to throw than a curveball. So it's they're opening up. Again, they're showing more confidence on the offense. And my favorite moment, Justin Herbert moment in this game, and I think this is key to what's happening in LA. Justin Herbert keeps the ball, rushes for a first down, gets hit, he comes down, he gets up. But the way he gets back up is the important thing. He kind of like crawls forward as he's still running, and you see he wants to spike the ball, but he doesn't. He kind of like composes himself. He's like, and then he keeps going, and you're like, let's fucking go. That's not Justin Herbert, right? Justin Herbert is controlled. He's deadpan. You could tell it's overflowing. The emotion, the passion, the energy, and you're like, let's fucking go. This is the Jim Harbaugh effect, right? You starting to see the players believing in themselves, in their own talent, and it's contagious. It's an energy that cannot be faked. It cannot be replicated, and it cannot be contained. Justin frickin' Herbert cannot contain himself. Well, at the end, he managed to be like, okay, wait, this is not a spike moment, and I might get a flag. But you're like, this is what I wanted. This is why I wanted Jim Harbaugh, to see that come out of your star player. And if that's happening to Justin frickin' Herbert, you can see it on the rest of the team. Have you seen the game-winning speeches when he's, you know, giving the game balls and stuff? Today, Justin Herbert did a little speech, and it was really funny. But there was a moment with Joey Bosa, again, not a big personality talk or everything. When he's giving the game balls, Joey Bosa's like, and a ball to Jim Harbaugh, the coach. You're like, holy shit, who are these guys? What's happening to our team? Why is everybody so happy? I love it. As Jim Harbaugh says, nothing. The winning has cured more ills than penicillin. So let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. So
it's starting to feel like the MC-DC effect coming to the Chargers.
Yeah.
You know,
except
when he just came
immediately,
in and
yeah,
completely just knocked them to the ground, be like, y'all bitches,
dude,
we got to start eating some damn kneecaps.
The franchise in general looks like they're a completely different team. I don't understand it. Like, the social media team was really good before, but now the things that they're doing, they do a mini movie after each victory. It's like a mini documentary. It's really exciting to watch. They're showing the victory speeches. They made a show with Bud Dupree where he goes camping and interviews other Chargers players. Like, he doesn't camp for real. It's sponsored by the Toyota Tacoma. So they're even making bank out of that. So you're just like, you know, you're doing everything right. I'm scared. I'm not used to this. I'm not used to you being a competent organization. What the hell's happening? So I'm very excited about that.
You know, Jim Harbaugh is going to the freaking social media team and be like, everybody's stepping up here, including you guys.
I think they just do that automatically. They're like, man, is this what they're doing? We got to do it. Also, Jim Harbaugh gives you so much content. Like, oh my God. Like, you just got to take advantage of it. Also, one critical thing that happened this week, we got the return of the Gus Bus. He only had 10 rushes for 55 yards. But if you saw the game, those rushes were right in the freaking teeth of the other team. This man would not be
Quentin
stopped.
Johnston too.
Yeah, Quentin Johnston. He's looking pretty good. So now you're starting to see what people are calling the lightning and the thunder, right? You got J.K. Dobbins, you know, moving the ball. You got freaking Gus Bus punishing people moving the ball. I was actually shocked that they did not use Gus Edwards in the red zone, but I get it. If you put Gus Edwards in the red zone, that means that, okay, it's going to be a run. So if you put somebody else and it's a run, they're like, ah, man, I thought they were trying to trick me, but they did it. God.
That ain't legal.
So yeah, this game was fast, man. It was over quick. And they were always in control. They were milking the clock. They were moving the ball. And again, it's crazy because they only had 145 total yards, and Justin Herbert only had 164 yards of passing. Doesn't matter. They still won. And it was not just a win, it was a dominant win. So I'm excited. On the other side of the field.
I'm
Oh,
glad that you mentioned the flea flicker thing. Trying to get more comfortable with their trick plays because it's actually very important. Because this week is the start of the gauntlet.
yes, and we'll get that when we start breaking down the play field. On the other side of the field, we had Will Levis returning. Will Levis actually looked pretty good. Honestly, the issue with Will Levis is that he's kind of a dumbass and he makes stupid decisions. Not yesterday.
His kneecap tasted good.
Yeah, not yesterday. He did not do stupid plays. He's not the reason they lost, but he was 18 out of 23. Again, only 23 passing plays. This game was quick, man. It was over quick. 175 yards, 2 TDs, five. And what? By the way, 75 of those yards came in one play, probably. And he had 5 runs for 41 yards. Also, he got sacked 7 times. 7 freaking times, baby. Our defense is looking good.
Feeding on them kneecaps.
They're
boy.
looking good. And by the way, 7 sacks, no Khalil Mack. So, there you go. They're looking pretty good. Let me see the chat here. Is Herbert finally healthy? He looks healthy. He looks very healthy. Chuck Dominguez, please hope your Chargers beat Chiefs at this point. I don't care who beats, just don't want them undefeated. Amen, brother. Sandman, do you think Chargers are a playoff team? As of right now, yes. And I'll break it down why. Basically, I think
right now they're an AFC Championship game.
Well, anyway, right now they are the 6th seed in the playoffs. And based on their schedule, okay. Right now, the Chargers are beating the teams that they're supposed to beat. If they continue doing that, they should have enough wins to be in the playoffs, to make it to the dance, which is the most important thing. You need to make it there. Now, if after this 5-game gauntlet where they're going up against the Bengals, Ravens, Falcons, Chiefs, and Bucks, if they win 2 games out of those 5, they're definitely a playoff team. If they win 3 out of those 5, they're a team that could win in the playoffs. If they beat all 5 of those, they're going to Super Bowl. Said it. Meant it. Anyway, let me continue. David Martinez, Chargers are playing the way a real 9-0 team is playing. Chiefs are frauds. Amen, other brother. Chuck Dominguez, it would be nice to have the Chargers in Hard Knocks show. Nah, I don't want other people to know the Harbaugh method, man. It's our secret.
Isn't it cursed?
Yeah, it's also cursed. Also, you have to be bad. I don't want it. Anyway, I mean, as a fan, I would enjoy to see that side of the team, but I don't want anybody else to see it. They're my boys, all right? They're my boys. Anyway, next, you got the Cowboys getting shellacked by the Eagles 34-6, being blinded by their own fucking stadium, which is hilarious. Jalen Hurts, 14 out of 20, 202 yards, 2 TDs, 1 INT, 7 runs for 56 yards, 2 TDs. He did get sacked 5 times, but the Cowboys weren't even trying to stop him, man. They did not come to play. It's really bizarre. It's really pathetic, and really concerning if you're a Cowboys fan, because I thought it was there.
Officially we can say, hear ye, the Mike McCarthy era is over.
Oh, definitely. Dead man walking. Who said that? Was it Rex Ryan? Dead man walking? I don't know. Let's see. On the other side of the field, we actually saw Trey Lance. He didn't do much. Cooper Rush, they benched him. The team, both QBs, had 49 total pass yards. 49! Ridiculous. The Eagles defense on the other hand, 3 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, and 1 INT. This was a grade A ass whooping by the Eagles. It looks like Sirianni will live to see another season. Probably. It depends on what happens in the playoffs, because this team is super talented. If they lose because he's an idiot and makes stupid calls, I would not be surprised if he gets lost. But this is a great way of keeping your job, kicking the ass out of your division rival. Thursday night football against the Commanders should be interesting.
They're ranked second place in the playoffs so far.
Yeah. Next, another ass whooping. The Arizona Cardinals just embarrassing the New Jersey Jets, who supposedly found their identity, who had 3 extra days of rest, and nothing. 31-6. They couldn't even get a touchdown. Kyler Murray, on the other hand, 22 out of 24, 266 yards, 1 passing TD, also 2 rushing TDs. So that boy looking pretty good. He did get sacked once though, and it was, dude, let me tell you, that was a hit. Like, his helmet comes flying. Like, he gets hit from the blind side, like clean from the back. His helmet just goes flying like 10 yards. It was honestly concerning because he's a small dude, but he got up, kept playing. So, you know, he's tougher than he looks, but he has been injury prone. So I'd be a little bit, you know, scared.
Well, he did have that MMA training, you know.
Sure.
He can probably whoop your ass.
Because MMA can protect you from a sack from behind. Now, on the let me see, the Cardinals defense. Here are their stats. They kept the Jets to 128 total pass yards. That's Aaron fucking Rodgers and Devontae fucking Adams. 128 total pass yards. 79 total rush yards. 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble. Aaron Rodgers looked atrociously bad. And now I'm not starting to feel as bad about the Chargers losing against this team. Like, they're a squad. They've been embarrassing people for the last few weeks. They're on a win streak. So, all right. Okay. I mean, they still lost because of the fucking refs, but whatever. It makes me feel a little bit better about the state of the team. You know, the Chargers. But let's continue. Sunday Night Football. Let me see a little chat here. Sandman. I think Chargers beat Bengals, Bucks, and Falcons in those 5 games. It's going to be tough. I agree that they should beat the Bengals. Okay. You know what? When we go into the playoff breakdown, I'll share my concerns about that, but I see what you're saying. The other 2 are toss-ups. Did you see the Mike McCarthy press conference today? There was sun coming in and causing glare, and they had to put up the shade while he was at the podium. Ironic. Aaron Rodgers needs to retire. It's not Aaron Rodgers. It's the Jets.
It's the Jets.
It's the fucking Jets. They need to retire the Jets in general. Child abuse on that Kyler sack. Good one, Sandman. Salah is probably somewhere saying, see, it wasn't me. Lol. I think Salah got hired by the Green Bay Packers. So let me double check that, Eric. Salah did get hired by somebody, and I think it was the Packers, which is hilarious if I'm correct.
Sorry, I'm having trouble remembering his first name. Robert Saleh.
Yeah, Robert Saleh. Saleh is Saleh, I believe. Anyway.
He's an offensive consultant for the Green Bay Packers.
There you go! There you fucking go! I mean, this could be Aaron Rodgers getting him that job, right? Right. Or it could just be him sticking it to Aaron Rodgers. One's funnier than the other, so I choose to believe the funnier one. That's the way I live my life.
Yeah, Chick Dominguez says Aaron Rodgers is the Jets. The thing is, the Jets have been atrocious for...
Ever.
Well, how long have they existed?
I don't know, but they've sucked since forever. Dude, I think I've said this before on the show, but there's a joke on Curb Your Enthusiasm that the Jets kill people. a friend of Larry's gets by the way, for those of you who don't know, Curb Your Enthusiasm is the show of the creator of Seinfeld. The creator of Seinfeld is basically George Costanza, right? So imagine George Costanza in real life, and it's a show about his quote unquote real life. Anyway, so a friend of his kills himself, and they're at the funeral, and they're like, what the hell happened? And he's like, I don't know, the last time I saw him, he was really mad, and we were talking about the Jets. He's like, the Jets! They took another one! So, by the way, that show's great, by the way. Let's continue. Sunday Night Football, prime time! You got the Texans taking on the Detroit Lions, losing 26-23 in a game I don't understand. I can't explain it. I don't understand it. I'm confused. I I don't know what else the freaking Texans could have done except not being stupid. Here's a few stats. Here's the quarterback stats for the game. Jared Goff, 15 out of 30. The most accurate guy in the league so far. 50% accuracy. 240 yards, 2 TDs, 5 INTs. That's 5 interceptions. Jared Goff. The Texans had this man's number. On the other side of the field, though, CJ Stroud, 19 out of 33, 232 yards, 1 TD, 2 INTs, got sacked 4 times. So it's crazy that you got 5 INTs against the Lions. They were up by multiple scores, and you still fucking lost. Now, again, they didn't have their best defensive player. They didn't have Nico Collins. But you had him. You had him. Again, you were on top of them. All you had to do was not get bucked off, but you got bucked off. So what does this tell you? These ain't your grandmama's Lions. These Lions are for real. These Lions are biting kneecaps. Doesn't matter how big a hole. Doesn't matter how bad they're playing. They're going to shake it off, sharpen their teeth, and get at those fucking kneecaps. The culture in Detroit's different. They've done a 180. They turned things around. This is a game that 99% of the league would have thrown in the towel, been like, it's not my day. They were like, fucking no. We're winning. And if you see the freaking stats in this game, 335 total yards for the Lions, 248 for the Texans. But look at the breakdown, right? 240 to 192 in passing yards, 105 to 56 rushing yards, 19 first downs against 16, 7 out of 12 in third downs, 6 out of 15, 62 total plays, 65 total plays. The big difference here, because everything's close, the big difference is the 4 fucking sacks. Also, the Lions had more penalties. Also, the Lions did not get called for a penalty that would have given the freaking Houston Texans the game. It was wild, man. It was a wild night in freaking Houston, and this is one that's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Now, fortunately, they don't really have much competition behind them right now, but Jesus Christ, this is one they just let slip out of their fingers.
I feel like this is one of those games that both teams wish they could just secretly go like, yeah, let's just never look back on this one, huh?
No, I can guarantee you that the Lions could be like, no, we're going to see every single thing we did wrong. We're going to keep watching it over and over. This is our motivation. Let's see. Sandman, I think the last time I remember the Jets being relevant was when the Chargers kicker missed the field goal that against them in the playoffs. Yes, fucking Mark Sanchez. Chuck Dominguez, Lions are good. I saw a note on the broadcast where the last time a team won after losing by so much and having 5 INTs in a game was when the Colts beat the Bears in 1970. Crazy. Lions had no business winning that game. But you know what? They were not beat up here. They were not beat between the ears. Scoreboard doesn't matter. We're still in it. We're still fighting. That's a good fucking team. That's a well-coached team. Managed to pull them out and drag them to victory. Good on them. Next, Monday Night Football.
Also, I like the Texans helmet. I just don't like the outfit.
I have issues with the helmet. I
like the helmet. It just would have looked cool with like a black shirt.
I think the blue helmet would have been better with the red horns. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I kind of like that. I kind of like that red tone.
Whatever. Next Monday Night Football, we got. Oh, I forgot to put this. Week 10. Okay. The Miami Dolphins kind of just dominating the Los Angeles Rams. I think this is the worst game I've seen from the Rams all season. And again, this time they didn't have the excuse of no Cooper Kupp, no Puka Nacua. It's just desperate teams be desperate. And the Dolphins were definitely desperate. They're trying to do their best to crawl their way back into the playoff picture. Maybe it's too little too late, but they looked okay. Tua, 20 out of 28, 207 yards, 1 TD, 1 INT, 3 sacks. But the play of the game is the INT. So freaking Tua throws the INT, and the guy who's rushing it back, Tua is the guy who tackles him basically. And by tackling him, I mean he kind of gets on all fours in front of him, so the guy runs into his rib cage, and then with the other knee hits him in the helmet, and then he falls down. Concerning. Honestly, I would have rather let the guy score. If I'm a Dolphins fan, I'd be like, just let him score. Don't get hit in the head with the knee running full speed. But Tua does what Tua does. Tua does Tua things. On the other side of the field, Matthew Stafford, not looking good. 32 out of 46, 293, 1 INT, 1 sack. And at the end, there was questionable calling from the refs, but this game was done. Like, they were dominated all day by the freaking Dolphins defense. Let me see.
I didn't get to watch this one because I was taking a nap. Just
didn't miss much.
Domination.
Yeah, you didn't miss much. If Nico Collins would have played,
the Rams have been playing like a freaking, like they had a shot of adrenaline right up the ass.
Desperate teams. Let me see. If Nico Collins would have played, maybe a different story for the Texans. I mean, definitely having your best offensive weapon would be very useful. Champy, Trey McBride equals best TE in the NFL. Oh, listen, Trey McBride is embarrassing fools out in the field. Trey McBride, by the way, the Cardinals. I don't know if the best. Brock Bowers is looking pretty good. I have him in my fantasy team. He's looking pretty good. Njoku, when he came back, he's looking pretty good. Other than that, I mean, there's Kelsey, there's Kittle. Let's just say he's looking good. He's a great weapon for the Cardinals. Cardinals equals most talented offensive team in the NFL. See, that's where I disagree, because the Lions do exist. So,
that being said, I do have McBride on my fantasy, so I agree.
And Lions and Cards equals two best teams in the NFC. Okay, let me think about that. So you got the Packers, the Vikings, the 49ers still, the Bucks, the Falcons, and the Eagles. Can the Cardinals...
Eagles are starting to get pretty red hot.
Can the Cardinals beat all of those teams? I don't think so. They're feisty. They can beat the Niners. They could probably beat the Falcons and the Bucks if there's no Mike Evans. The Eagles, I don't know. I really don't know. The defense is starting to look really good. But again, it was against the Cowboys, so does this defense even really count against the Cowboys? I don't know. I need to think about it. But let's continue. Let's go to the playoff picture really quickly. AFC teams that are currently in solidly winning their divisions. You got the Chiefs at 9-0, the Bills at 8-2, Steelers at 7-2, Texans at 6-1. The Steelers may change. The Steelers, spot may change because they're up against the Ravens this week, so that should be an interesting matchup. In the hunt, currently in the playoff picture, or currently in the playoffs, if the season ended today, you got the Ravens at 7-3, the Chargers at 6-3, and the Broncos at 5-5. So I really wanted the Steelers to lose. I mean, I picked them to win this week, but I wanted them to lose because that means that it's better for the Chargers because they have a tiebreaker against the Chargers. So I think right now,
kind of like the Commanders.
Yeah, kind of like the commies. It's weird. So right now, the only spot that looks to be up for grabs would be the 7 seed, right? Because I think the Chargers will make it to 10 wins at least. Other teams making it to 10 wins is going to be difficult. So the teams that are in the hunt for that 7 spot that's currently held by the Broncos at 5-5 is the Colts at 4-6, the Bengals at 4-6, and the Dolphins at 3-6. I think the Jets are dead, but I might be wrong. Patriots are also there at 7-6, but I also think that the Patriots are dead. So everybody else I think is dead. Browns, Titans, Raiders, Jaguars, Patriots, Jets, dead. So you got the Dolphins, Bengals, Colts, and Broncos fighting for that spot. Out of all of those, Bengals have the best QB. They might have the worst defense, though. So it's a tough one. And they're up against the Chargers, which could put them in a hole. Who do you think makes it out of those four?
We're including the Jets there?
Sure. You got the Jets, Dolphins, Bengals, Colts, Broncos. Who's got the 7 seed?
Oh, man. I don't think the Colts... Oh, the Colts have a relatively easy schedule, don't they?
I believe so.
The problem with the Bengals is that they're still in a freaking tough division.
Yes. I mean, they still need to face the Steelers twice. I think the Browns once. And
the Bengals are by far the best under 500 team.
Yes.
In my opinion.
Most talented. I wouldn't say best. Well, the Dolphins are also very talented. They just, lost their QB for a few weeks.
Well, they have a talent for doing that.
And it's not the most difficult division in the world. So the Dolphins have a path.
Well, have they played the Bills already twice?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Listen,
man.
if I'm picking...
I would go with probably the Dolphins.
All right. I'm going to go with the Bengals. We'll see how that goes. On the NFC side, you got the Lions at 8-1, Eagles 7-2, Falcons 6-4, Cardinals 6-4, Vikings 7-2, Commanders 7-3, Packers 6-3. So, in the hunt, you got the 49ers at 5-4, Bears at 4-5, Seahawks 4-5, Rams 4-5. So 49ers have the best odds of getting into the dance. Rams, I think, is the best team that's nipping at their heels. So I think that it's who do you think gets kicked out?
Out of the ones that are in?
Yeah. Like, I think, like, if the 49ers play the way that they're supposed to play, they might win that division, and the Cardinals go into the wild card. But I don't know. I don't trust anybody in the NFC. Except the Lions.
Feels like the Vikings have been starting to slip, but they have a pretty sizable lead.
Yeah, that's their advantage.
No, the Packers have been playing good. Right now, I don't know if I'd move anybody out.
We'll see.
Who are the 49ers playing again?
This week, let me see. They're playing the Seahawks.
Should be winnable.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, they're going to be tied with them.
Yep.
That's a tough division.
Cardinals have a bye week, by the way. Sandman's saying Falcons get kicked out. I mean, by who? The Bucks? I think the Bucks are.
Bucks got no weapons though.
Well, I mean, when Evans comes back, they're in a 4-6 hole, and they already lost twice to the Falcons. That's the issue. The Falcons already sweep them, so they have the tiebreaker there. It's gonna be tough. But let's see. Let's continue to the hot seat. So coaches that are in the hot seat. Eberflus should be fired. Mike McCarthy should be fired already. These two, I have no idea how they still have jobs. I don't get it. You also have the Giants head coach, who I always forget his name. Dan something? I don't know. Whatever.
Ryan Dable?
Brian Dable. There you go. Antonio Pierce, the big issue here is that the Raiders fire their head coaches, and this season has been atrocious, and it doesn't look like they're building anything remotely good there. So not a good culture, not a good team for the future, nothing. So Raiders, I would not be surprised if the head coach gets fired. And also Doug Peterson for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think he's gonzo. I don't see him keeping his job either. So at least 3 out of these 5 should be fired by the end of the season, or at the end of the season, if not earlier. Next,
I have heard people saying that, well, now that Brady is a part owner of the Raiders, maybe Belichick as a head coach. And my thing is, I don't know if Belichick wants to coach a team without a quarterback again.
No, I don't think so. Not at this point. Check the Mingus says, Don't forget OFC Hackett, offensive coordinator Hackett. Yeah, well, this is for head coaches. Hackett, he's probably also done so. Bears don't fire within season, never have. Listen, the Chargers had never fired a head coach during the season ever either, and they put Brandon Staley on his ass last year after getting embarrassed by the Raiders on Thursday Night Football. So if the Bears get embarrassed badly enough, believe me, heads will be a-rolling. All they need to do is get their asses beaten terribly enough. So we'll see. I heard that rumor about Hackett. It's so frustrating being a Bears fan. I think Waldron would be relieved or of play calling duties. Yes. You had the number 1 pick in the draft. Supposedly this kid has talent. Now, I said this from the beginning. There's the issues with Caleb Williams is between the ears. It concerned me. He might have all the physical talent in the world, but he's I don't want to say brittle, but he seemed too emotional. And you don't want that in a quarterback. You want somebody who's got ice in his veins. So that was concerning. I feel like the coach has already lost the team. The defense starting to play with less. They're trying to play with less and less effort. The offense, it looks like your best wide receiver kind of doesn't like your quarterback, and which is crazy because every single thing I've heard about DJ Moore before is that he's a really nice guy. Keenan Allen with the Chargers, man, was unblockable. He was always open. He was always where you needed him to be, where you wanted him to be, when you needed him to be. There are easy passes that the guy misses. So that's the OC's fault. They're not training him. They're not getting him ready. That's bad coaching. You could give him easy passes to build confidence.
He's got the opposite problem of Drake May, where, obviously the guy's green, but Drake May doesn't have any goddamn weapons either.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams got weapons.
Yes. Good ones. But, whatever. The rumor about Bill going to the Raiders, offensive line is atrocious. Yeah, the Bears, I'm assuming. Listen, if only the Bears had like a 2 top 10 draft picks they could have used one of those in an O-line in a very talented O-line draft. But what did they pick? Another wide receiver. Bad organizations do bad things, all right? It's sad because it used to be a good one. Not for a very long time.
Great one.
Yeah. Give up 9 sacks this past game. No separation from the wire. You know what? I don't think they're just giving it. They're not putting in any effort. They're like, fuck it. Next, let's make our picks for week 11. Let me get my coin ready. Let me see. Caleb not seeing open players. No separation. Yeah. Again, the offensive coordinator could scheme up easy catch and throws, easy stuff for him, but he's missing them. I don't get it. There were multiple throws that he did to Keenan Allen. I've seen it several times. It's like, dude, who are you throwing the ball to? What the hell's happening? But whatever. Yeah. And when he does see them, he isn't always accurate. I'd say that accuracy might be the most important thing for a quarterback. Eric, would you agree?
To be quite honest, I think it's more important that they have few turnovers.
You know how you have very few turnovers?
Well,
if you're accurate, with the way you throw the ball.
No, you can be pretty accurate, but sometimes turnovers happen because of bad decision making. It's like I'm throwing it perfectly to the guy, but I just didn't see that the defensive the guy was coming, and he's gonna intercept the ball. So the ball may be going accurately to the guy.
He just didn't see the defender. Fair enough. Let's do our picks. Let's do our picks of the weeks. Thursday Night Football, interesting matchup for what is it? The lead in the division, right? Whoever wins this comes out on top of the division. You got the Commanders visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. Eric, I go first. I like the Commanders' story. I hate their city. I hate their team colors. Well, I hate the team name, and I hate their uniforms. I like their their new quarterback. I think the kid has a lot of talent. I like that Austin Eckler's there. I wish good things for him. I don't think he can beat the Eagles. The Eagles are way too talented on both sides of the ball, and they're starting to get things rolling. Give me the Eagles.
Oh man, I kind of need to make a move, and I feel like this is one.
Oh, by the way, how are things going in the league? How are we doing? What's the numbers?
Let me see. You are at 98. I'm at 93. God is at 59.
How many did I get
and
last week?
You got 9.
Oh, that's actually not good at all. I don't know. I was excited about that.
No, we didn't have a great week.
No. Stupid Chiefs. Stupid
You were
Chiefs.
like, how many did I
How
get?
many did I
Not
get?
that many.
No, that's actually pretty embarrassing. That's not good. Anyway, let's move on. Who'd you pick?
Yeah. Damn it.
Listen, it's
Fuck,
not a
man, I
bad one to
like
make a
them.
move.
I hope. Yeah, I'll do Commanders. I'll do Commanders. I like the Commanders. I hope they win.
God picked home.
I hate Philly too.
Fair enough. Next, you got the Green Bay Packers facing the Chicago Bears. Do we even need to?
Man, this is Chicago's worst nightmare.
you know what we said like 5 minutes ago about being embarrassed by a division rival on getting shellacked? This might be the game. Packers coming off a bye week. Jordan Love starting to heal. Finally getting a break. Give me the Packers. There's one thing that concerns me, though. So far, every single team that loses against the Lions loses the following week. The only team that hasn't... Yeah, there's a bye week in between. So the Packers have not lost 2 weeks in a row. So, will that be enough to save them? I think so, because it's the Bears. Give me the Packers.
Yes. I take the Packers as well. I'll go Pack go.
God picked home. Next, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars going up against the Detroit Lions, the kings of the jungle. We don't even need to. It's not a conversation, right? It's not a.
King
No.
of the jungle. Roar.
Yeah, give me the Lions. God picked home. Next, we
This is
got.
a crap game, isn't it?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be Mac Jones. It's not even clear if Trevor Lawrence is going to be able to play.
Even more trappy.
The trappiest of the traps. You got the Minnesota Vikings visiting the Tennessee Titans, who did not play the worst ball. Well, fun fact, the Tennessee Titans had not allowed more than 17 points all season until the Bolts came there and kicked their freaking asses. I was going to say
We still haven't allowed more than 20 points, have we?
No,
With that little, asterisk with the Steelers.
of course. What happened to your camera, buddy? Eric,
Did it die?
yeah, your camera died.
I don't know. It's on.
It's on, so it's the connection. Oh, there you go. You're back. Anyway, so yeah, give me the Vikings. Give me the Vikings.
Take Vikingos, per favor.
All right. God picked away. Smart.
That being said, it'd be a trap game.
Fair enough. Next, we have the Las Vegas Raiders visiting the revamped Dolphins. This is not even a question. Give me the freaking Dolphins. It's a short week for them, but it's against the Raiders. Come on, man.
Yeah, I really hope the Max Crosby does eventually go to the
No,
Lions, though.
I don't think so. I mean, the trade deadline's passed. Yeah. That one's done.
Oh, I
though.
say eventually.
Oh, okay. There you go. Got picked away. Next, you got the LA Rams visiting the New England Patriots. The Rams look bad today. They're in a short week. They should be able to put away the Patriots. Give me the Rams.
Yeah. I didn't see the Rams play today, but
They did not look good.
God, it feels like they're like a complete team still.
Yeah.
I don't.
You know, sometimes the
maybe
team has your
Dolphins
number.
Surprise them.
Yeah, got picked away. Next, you got the Browns visiting the New Orleans Saints. Eric, who do you like?
Ugh.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Just based off Today, I'm gonna go with the Saints. Not today, this week. They just seem like they're having more fun out there, and the Browns, fuck them.
Listen, it was a divisional game. Browns coming off a bye. It is in the Superdome. I think they got the monkey off their back, but I don't think they're going to be able to do it 2 weeks in a row. Not against the Browns defense. So give me the Browns.
Okay.
Yeah. God picked away. Next, for the NFC North. Actually, no, not yet. The Indianapolis Colts visiting the New Jersey Jets. Jets, if they lose this one, out of the playoffs. Calling it right now. Colts, if they win this one, still in contention. I hate both teams right now. They are both extremely disappointing. However, when in doubt, go with home. I don't see Aaron Rodgers getting embarrassed like that and, just taking it. So, give me the Jets.
I mean, the man's been getting embarrassed all season, been taking it, so.
No, I'm sticking with the Jets. The Colts have just been bad.
You know what? I feel like every week I've gone with the Jets, and every week I get disappointed. So this time I'm going with the Colts.
Smart man. God picked home. Let me see. Who's got a better chance of an upset? Jags versus Lions or Titans versus Vikings? Vikings.
Titans.
Yeah. Jags, it's Mac Jones. Jesus Christ. The man got Bill Belichick fired. Which is quite an achievement, honestly. Next, you got the battle for the AFC North. The Ravens visiting the Steelers. Eric, who do you like? Tough one. Toughie. Difficult.
I'm going to take the Steelers.
Really? Home?
I think I am.
Really? Because they're home?
Home, and also, I don't know, it feels like they got the right type of team to beat this Ravens team.
Listen, the Steelers historically have dominated their division, right? They tend to win more than they lose within their division, which is, a good start. However, I'm not sure if they've faced King Henry before. So, also, I've been rooting for the freaking Ravens all season. So, give me the Ravens.
All right.
I dropped the coin.
Also, every time I go against the Steelers, they lose. So, honestly, I'm just going to start going against my instincts.
Yeah, smart. There you go. God picked home.
All right.
Next.
Let's go faster because my girlfriend's starting to fall asleep and I got to stop making noise.
Let's go. Smack her. Wake her up. Like, stay awake. Next, we got Kirk Cousins and the Falcons visiting the Denver Broncos. Who do you like? Actually, I go first. I hate both. I hope both lose. But I like, it's not easy to play in Mile High. Are the Broncos more motivated or more disappointed from their loss? Falcons should be disappointed. Actually, you know what? Give me the Falcons.
Ooh, I'm with Chuck.
What?
I'm gonna take the Broncos on this one.
Fair enough. Make it a move. Honestly,
it's not just that. The Broncos are barely hanging in there. They're the 7th seed right now.
yeah.
Eight. How many teams? The last seed.
So they're more desperate. They're the 7th seed.
Yes. And I feel like Atlanta are not that desperate in terms of their division because it sucks.
We'll see. Honestly, this is one of those. It's literally a coin flip. Got picked away. Next, Seattle Seahawks visiting 49ers. Give me the Niners. They got CMC back. He's already got one game under his belt. You can see how that offense is completely different. Hopefully the stupid kicker now, is starting to get a little bit of confidence. If not, hopefully they got the fear of Deebo Samuel in them. So give me the Niners.
I'm gonna take the Niners too. I think the Seahawks ran out of juice.
Yeah. And I agree. Steelers-Ravens game should be an awesome game. Only
awesome Steelers game.
Only Steelers game that I care about watching. The Commanders one was fun. It was all right. I wouldn't say fun. It was all right. Next, the game that honestly should have been the primetime flex. Like, I don't hate that the Chargers got flex at primetime, but this could be an AFC Championship preview. The the Kansas City Chiefs visiting the Buffalo Bills. If the Bills don't beat them, will they go undefeated? I say no. I think the Chargers are going to slack them. I also think that the Bills will slack them this week. Because again, oh man, the Chiefs just don't look impressive. They don't. The wins have been impressive, with the help of the refs, but they just don't look impressive overall. So, on the other hand, the Bills look very impressive. Their defense looks pretty good. And that boy Josh Allen, he good. He's in the running for MVP for a reason. So, give me the Bills. Please.
I go with the Chiefs.
Fuck you.
Josh Allen's like gonna shit his pants or something. They're gonna get lucky. And he's gonna fumble the ball.
Oh, okay. If that happens, if he shits his pants and fumbles the ball, I'll give you 10 points. I'll give you 10 extra fucking points. So, not only a point if they win. For that? Not only for calling it like that. Okay? Said it.
I feel like they gave me 100 points.
No, 10. 10's enough. I was going to go with 2 because, but no, 10 because it's that impressive you could call that one. And finally, Sunday Night Football prime time. By the way, first primetime game for the Chargers in like 3 in the next 5 weeks. So, somebody's starting to get noticed. You got the Chargers hosting Joe Burrow and the Bengals. A desperate Joe Burrow and the Bengals. A Joe Burrow and the Bengals who had 10 days to prepare for this one. So, do I need to ask you?
Is it a battle of the two most handsome quarterbacks in the NFL?
Interesting question. Huh. Let me see.
Yeah, all right.
You see, let me see. My girlfriend, she likes Josh Allen. I think she also likes Lamar, but I don't know why. But it's more like she finds him interesting, not really attractive. Will Levis did not impress her. I'm pretty sure Baker's never impressed anybody. I mean, he's a great dude, but nobody would ever say that he's handsome.
Jordan Love, no.
Kyler Murray, some people might say he's cute. I'm not one of those people. Dak, nah. Patrick is ugly. Purdy? Maybe? Russell Wilson? I don't think so. Hurts? Maybe? Joe Flacco?
Bottlenecks don't look bad.
Does he look good? Jared Goff? Trevor Lawrence? Caleb Williams?
Dak Prescott's a good looking guy.
What?
Dak Prescott?
You
Although
think?
He's out for the season, but
You think? Bryce Young? I don't know. You know what? Yes. The battle of the two most handsome quarterbacks in the NFL. And honestly, I think Joe Burrow's got Herbie beat. That's the only thing where Joe Burrow's hands down beats Herbert. Probably.
Not with that hair.
You know what? Fair enough. Herbert does have better hair.
Yes.
And a winning smile. Anyway.
Yeah, Burrow looks like he was like that, like the asshole quarterback guy who bullied the nerds in high school.
No, Joe Burrow looks like he got left behind by his family on Christmas while they went to France. And so criminals were going to rob his house, and he set up a bunch of booby traps to defend his place. That's exactly what he looks like.
Man, he looks like he got beat up by Daniel and funded Cobra Kai.
Nah, I don't see it. You mean
Yeah,
Sensei
yeah,
Lawrence?
He's
I don't see it.
Cobra Kai disciple.
Okay, I could believe that he's a Cobra Kai disciple, but Sensei Lawrence, Johnny Lawrence, I don't see it. Anyway, Sandman
He could be
says,
cast for Superman.
I don't know, he looks more like a Green Arrow to me. But Sandman says Trey Lance, I don't see it. Anyway, back to this game. Again, desperate Bengals
I'll take
team.
the Chargers.
More time to prepare. Yeah, I agree. And it's honestly, it's pretty simple. Bengals don't have a defense. Chargers have a good one. Now this is going to be
And also they had a tough game against the Ravens, and the Chargers didn't have a tough game at all.
yeah. The Chargers defense, you could argue they haven't really been tested other than against Patrick Mahomes. But the Chiefs offense hasn't been good this defense. So this year, so this is going to be the best defense they've gone against, the best offense they've gone against all year. Also, probably the worst defense. So I think the Chargers are better on all three phases. So overall. So give me the Chargers and let me flip a coin. The question is, do you think the Bengals will be the first team to score more than 20 points on the Chargers?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. So this is going to be a shootout, primetime shootout. Fair enough. I'm actually very concerned about. I'm very concerned about the next slate of games, and I've explained this before. I'll say it again. Bengals, they had 10 days of rest against the Chargers. After the Bengals, Chargers have the Ravens, who are the big brother of the Chargers until the Chargers prove otherwise. It's going to be a tough physical matchup, but we'll see. It's Monday night. So then they have the Falcons in Atlanta on a shorter week. So it's Monday Night Football. They play on Sunday. They're going to have one day less of rest. And after going up against the Ravens, who are brutal, they will kick your ass. Derrick Henry will punish you. So I'm concerned about the Falcons game. After the Falcons, they go to Arrowhead against the Chiefs and then against Tampa Bay. So under normal circumstances, so against the Bengals, same time of preparation, same time of rest, I'd say easy win for the Chargers. Against the Ravens, again, it's tough. It's very tough. Against the Falcons, again, same time of preparation, same everything. I think the Chargers, but at home against the Falcons, short week of rest. After going against the frickin' Ravens, who are ass kickers, I am concerned that could be a loss. Then an Arrowhead against the Chiefs, I think they can win that one. In fact, I think they should win that one. And then against the Bucks, honestly, I don't know. It all depends on if they have Mike Evans or not.
I'm still maintaining 15 wins, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Fair enough.
And also, I figured it out.
What?
I figured out why they flexed the game.
Why?
They didn't want the Chiefs playing at night in Buffalo because it's colder.
Oh, I mean, it also gets cold in Kansas City.
Well, you're gonna be.
Well, not as cold.
No, but I mean, it's not as cold, and you want it to be warm, and you probably don't want Patrick Mahomes getting injured.
I hadn't considered that, but it sounds legit. I believe it now. Let me see. Did you see Macaulay Culkin dressed up like Burrow for Halloween? No, but I totally believe it.
No, that's great.
Yeah. It turns out it's not Macaulay Culkin. It's just Joe Burrow coming out of his house.
I'm still
Finally.
waiting for Elon Musk to dress up as Matthew Stafford.
That'd be really funny. Finally, Monday Night Football. You got the Strouds visiting the Dallas Cowboys. The battle for Texas on Monday night. Give me the Strouds. Give me the
It's
Texans.
a very easy battle.
Yeah, it's not.
Stroud.
No, it's not even. Come on. God picked home. So, there you go. Those are our picks for the week.
But they're both home.
Yeah, true. I think we're going to have more Texans fans than not. So, Texans, not Texas fans. Texans. So, there you go. Those are our picks. As always, comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at DarioSDW and at Super Dario World. Remember, Do not buy from Masi Toyota of Pacific Beach. They're a bunch of crooks. You will regret it. I will tell you why. Eventually. Actually, no, they suck. It was terrible. Do not buy the Toyota BC4X unless you want to, you know, set money on fire, which would actually be more fun. Comments, questions, suggestions. Did I already say that part?
Yeah.
Okay. Eric, anything you want to shout out?
No, y'all have a pleasant week, everybody. Happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day. Hope you have a good one. See you next week. And, no, I feel like I'm missing something. Anyway, it doesn't matter. As always, thank you for listening, and we'll see you again next time.